What questions do you expect that law enforcement is going to be asking Mary Lou Danley today?
Well, first they go through all the forensic review of everything. So what they want to do is get all that information in their back pocket that they can independently have prior to interviewing her to know what that communication was like between the two of them. So they get all of that. They've been talking to associates. Then they sit her down, and the whole point of the exercise is, did you know? Did you know his state of mind? Had he ever mentioned in this? What did he talk about? What were his frustrations? I mean, they've really got it. And this is a massive effort right here. But she is a linchpin in this, obviously. She's a key to this. But what I'm saying also is that they may well know, aspects of the motivation at this point, and they're just not saying because of this investigation. And as far as the turning weapons into automatics, look, that doesn't take a great deal of knowledge. Right?
Well, it's that part, right? The bump stock that they're talking about.
The bump stock is, but that is a technique. You don't even need the bump stock to do that. That's a technique.
Bump stock. Okay. Explain bump stock.
What you're essentially doing is you are using the recoil of the weapon to accelerate the discharge of the ammunition. You're still getting a single round fired with every pull of the trigger, but the recoil of that weapon, and you can do it without the bump stock, by the placement of your hand and where you and leaning forward, putting the forward weapon a little bit, getting your finger in there, and I don't want to, we're going into the weeds. Yeah. But the point being is you could use it. You could do it with a handgun if you wanted to. I mean, you could accelerate the discharge of that round, but it simulates automatic fire. Yeah. And so it's not, but you can go out and do this without technical knowledge. You can also use with some gunsmithing and relatively simple tools. You can machine the weapon into a fully automatic. That's highly illegal. And there's other devices that also will do this, will simulate fully automatic fire.
There were 527 people injured, obviously, which is a lot greater than the 59 who were killed. Can you just give a little insight for people that are watching, if they find themselves at a sporting event, at a concert like this, how do we prevent because so many of those injuries were from people trying to flee. What are some tactics that, your everyday citizen can use if they find themselves in this situation?
Well, first of all, if you're not mentally prepared, if you're not aware of your environment, and this catches you by surprise, the natural instinct or physical reaction is you're going to start shutting down. All your fine motor skill starts to shut down. You're not thinking clearly because this comes completely out of the blue and you're caught by surprise. You're like a deer in the headlights. So about the best you can do as a member of the public, go out to public events, raise your awareness. You can't always be at a high level of alert, but when you go out to a large public event or you go into the tube or the subway or wherever you are, a large public outing, have a plan. Be aware. Raise your alert level a little bit. And if you go into an event, look around for where the exits are. Think about, okay, if something does kick off, what am I going to do? Where do I go? Go from cover to cover.
There wasn't a lot of places to go in that in that area. And now, apparently, the other hotels on the Strip are getting higher with security. They're taking it up a notch, perhaps putting metal detectors in there. Your thoughts on it? Is this the right move? I mean, right now, you don't have metal detectors going into hotels.
Yeah, I find it odd because he set up cameras in the hallways. He also was able to knock out the windows. They still weren't able to locate that. I mean, I find that pretty interesting that that he was able to do that. I mean, two significant windows high up on high floors, and they still weren't able to find him.
The attacker has all the advantage until the attack kicks off. Right? So he has all the time. He can pick the location, the methodology, the timing, all of those things. So he put a lot of planning into this.
For sure.